some places, 25 is not even enough to like get the average worker excited about going on strike, because that's maybe like $1 or $2 more than what they're already making, and it's barely enough to scrape by.
Are you on? Which side are you on?
Let's talk to this caller from a 510 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Kat calling in from the Bay Area. I'm a UPS Teamster.
Kat from the Bay Area. You said you're a Teamster?
That's right.
Awesome. And you work for UPS, I guess, presumably?
Yeah, I work at the airport.
What's on your mind, Kat?
In light of all the media attention that's been going around the UPS negotiations and the issues with part-time wages and whatnot, I also wanted to raise an issue that I feel hasn't gotten quite as much media attention, which is around the market rate adjustments.
We're actually going to be talking about that in the second half of the show in overtime. Sean OBrien, the general president of the Teamsters, he made a really good point when he was asked on Bloomberg about, the host credulously kind of recited what UPS said to them, and said, and he was like, well, UPS is telling us that part-timers are making $20 an hour. And Sean OBrien said, well, in some markets, they are doing these market rate adjustments to bring new employees in at $20 an hour. That's correct. But we still have some part-timers who have been there long before that who are stuck at $16.50.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, essentially the way that I see it is that in areas that have a much higher cost of living, like the Bay Area, obviously like the coastal cities, that UPS can kind of manipulate the wages however they see fit to bring in workers where and when they need them. And then when that workforce is no longer required, they just cut back the wages. You get as much as half of the workforce at any given location just quits. And those who remain are stuck with significantly less income than what they had before, and sometimes less hours and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like the negotiating committee is targeting that.
Yeah, and I think that we as part-timers, especially in these locations, really need to get that message out there, because there's a lot of focus on like the $25 an hour. And I think that's great. I think that's the floor, not the ceiling, honestly. Yeah. But for some places, honestly, 25 is not even enough to like get the average worker in the door or excited about going on strike, because that's maybe like $1 or $2 more than what they're already making, and it's like barely enough to scrape by. Living in the Bay Area where it costs like $2,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. So if you're making already like low 20s per hour, you need 2-3 jobs, no question.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing that UPS is going out about, and they're always quoting the full-time pay, which is not even representative. The full-time driver pay is not even representative of the majority of the UPS workforce. The majority of the UPS workforce are part-timers, which is not something that they ever say. But even with the full-time driver salary, they're saying, oh, it's $93,000 a year. And Sean OBrien mentioned in this clip that we're going to be playing later that that's true. But to get that $93,000, you got to work 60, 70 hours a week of mandated overtime, right? So there's just a lot of ways that UPS is really fudging the numbers to try to get the public on their side, and I certainly appreciate Sean OBrien and folks like you, talking in your communities and making sure that folks actually know what's going on with UPS, and then comparing what y'all are making to the billions of dollars in profit that UPS has made just in the last year. So I appreciate the call, Kat.
Yeah, and just to be specific, I think like the clear demand here is like if they give us those market rate adjustments, they can't take them back. They can't cut them. They have to give us whatever contractual raises and whatever cost of living adjustments are already in the contract on top of that, because right now, if there's contractual raises, but they're already paying you more than the base wage in the contract, you don't get a raise. So there's people where I work who haven't seen raises for multiple years in a row for that reason.
Yeah.
So just trying to elevate that. And then also, you know, tying it back in with the general point of why is cost of living so high to begin with? You know, it's because the landlords are treating real estate as a speculation in these big cities, and we have to see that there's multiple different ways that people in the corporate power and the ruling class are pressing people, making it impossible to live.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
Appreciate the call, Kat, and keep us updated, and best of luck in these contract negotiations.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.